instalment of the Vigilus campaign on our hands now. So we're moving straight in on the Verlian Swirl. So here's where it was, if you remember the last time. The Ravenwing forces were trying to find a way in to shut down this dust cloud. Inside is the Void Claw, the thing that's been setting off all of the gravitic anomalies all over the planet, and the Dark Angels know that this is operated by the Fallen, so they're getting in there before any of the other Imperial forces get in and get wind of what's happening. So the Deathwing have already got in and they've shut down Void Claw. That's been destroyed already, and now we're playing for the second objective of the Dark Angels, which is always to hunt the Fallen. So as I mentioned, the Void Claw has already been shut down. The Deathwing came in with a surgical strike and destroyed it, and now the Fallen are trying to recoup and look after themselves, because the Dark Angels are now coming for them. And they've got to fight through the Black Legion as well, because Abaddon was here first, and to make sure Void Claw kept operational, he did deploy a lot of bodyguard units to try and protect the Fallen. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the mission out of the September White Dwarf. It's the one that featured the Dark Angels in there. So there's a special mission called the Hunt, so it's all about, as you would expect, hunting the Fallen. So first of all, there's these stratagems to play with, so each side has 4. There's a few good ones. We'll cover those if and when we'll play them. And the mission, well, the deployment first is as such. So the Fallen are in an 36 inch by 15 inch box here, 18 no man's land on either side, and then the Deathwing deploy in this sort of 9 inch radius around this board edge here. Okay, so the mission stipulations for this is the Chaos Forces select a character in the army to be the Fallen Agent. So we'll tell you who the Fallen Agent is when we get to the army displays. And he is the main objective for both armies. So the Dark Angels have got to go and kill him, and then he drops an objective within 1 inch. If we kill him in combat, that means we get the objective, and we've got to hold that piece of objective until the end of the game, because if we are killed we can also drop that intel, which leads to more of the Fallen. So if we kill him, it's a draw. If we kill him and take the objective, it's a victory. Any other result is a victory to Chaos. So it's all about getting in, hunting that one man down, and taking his life and all of his information. Right, 2,000 points of Dark Angels for this mission. Because we are the attacker, we're going to have more points than the defenders, because that's the best way to work out these attacker and defender missions in the narrative sense. So we've got 2,000 points, but we haven't got that many command points because we've taken 2 elite detachments. So it's 1 command point for each elite detachment, and then 3 for Battleforge. So we're not going to see big stratagems all game. It's going to be spent up pretty fast. And so the Warlord's going to be Belial. His Warlord trait isn't very good, but it might work for this mission. So his Warlord trait is he gets to select, he can pick out characters basically, even if they're not the nearest, but he's only armed with a Stormbolter, so it's pretty poor. If he had special ammunition on that, that would be pretty good. Hopefully when the new codex comes out, they address that. He's always had a problem with his Warlord trait in the last 3 codexes, but anyway, we're going to give him it in the Warlord. We're going to live with that Warlord trait, see if we can prove us wrong. So he's got his setting in command. It's going to be the Terminator Librarian. He's going to have aversion and righteous repugnance for his psychic powers. He's going to have the relic for the Force Smiter Stormbolter, so it's AP -1 and it's 2 damage, and because he's a Terminator, he's going to fire 4 shots out of that, so it's pretty good. We've got an Apothecary, a Deathwing Apothecary. We've got a 6-man team here of Deathwing Terminators, Cyclone Missile Launcher and Thunderhammer Storm Shield, and a Thunderhammer Storm Shield Sergeant. And then this unit is the same, but there's only 5. Then we've got another Deathwing Terminator squad here, so we've got 3 Lightning Claws in there. Sergeant is a basic Sergeant, and Assault Cannon. And then we've got a Deathwing Knight squad at the back, just as standard. They've got the little Watcher in the Dark. And we've got a Land Raider. I'm not going to pay a command point for the stratagem to make it a Deathwing Land Raider, because this is the problem with the Deathwing. You just don't have the command points if you're playing a full-on Deathwing army to make your stuff Deathwing. So we're just going to have to miss out today. And that's just a Land Raider Crusader with everything that you see. And it's the same situation for the Venerable Dreadnought. That could be a Deathwing vehicle, but don't have the command points to really spend to make it that. And you don't really get much for it anyway. But anyway, just these are painted as Deathwing, but they're not going to use that stratagem. And then we've got a trusted Tech Marine. He's been trusted into the Deathwing. He's probably a rarity in the Dark Angels. They don't normally trust Tech Marines, but we've got him today. And then we've got a small Ravenwing contingent here because we need to chase down the Fallen just in case the Terminators aren't up to it. So we've got the Nephilim Jet Fighter with the last cannon in the nose. We've got the Land Speeder Vengeance, which I haven't played in a long while. So that should shoot down some heretics, hopefully. And we've got 2 units of basic bikes. So we've got a melter gun in that squad, plasma gun in that squad, and this the sergeant there's got a power sword. Okay, so this is 1750 of the Black Legion. So I'm going to go through this because he's not quite familiar with the Black Legion because he doesn't play them that often. So, but he is going to spend a command point to unlock the Devastation Battery. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a detachment from Vigilus, and I'll come to that when we hit it. So you would have had 9 command points, but we've gone down to 8 now. So there's 3 for being battle forged, and there was 5 for the battalion, and then he had an extra one because he's got a heavy detachment in there as well. So the Warlord is going to be this sorcerer. He's not a master of possession today, he's going to be a sorcerer. So he is the main Fallen character that we're going to have to go after as the Dark Angel player. So he's the master of it all. And he's got his 2 Fallen squads on the wings there. So 1 5-man Fallen squad have all got combi bolters and combi plasma, should I say. And this 5-man team have got plasma pistols and a power fist. So these are combated especially to take out Dark Angels Terminators. And if people are not familiar with the Fallen, if you stand still, much like Dark Angels, you can reroll 1s. So with plasma guns, just standing still, it's going to be pretty terrifying against the Terminators. So that's the Fallen contingent there. So the rest of the Black Legion, who've come in to reinforce on Abaddon's will, goes like this. So we've got 2 units of Chaos Space Marines, 6-man squads. This one's hand to hand with a plasma gun and plasma pistol. This one's bolters and Reaper autocannon. We've got a unit of Chosen here, just the ones out of Dark Vengeance of ages ago. Power Fist for the champion, Power Axe and Lightning Claws. There's also a Rhino, and then we've got an Obliterator team here, 2 of them, and then we've got their master, the Warp Smith, and then he's got his pets as well. He's got 2 dreadnoughts as seen there, 2 flamers in that guy's palms, and obviously he's got the double las cannon, and then there's 2 forge fiends there with the ectoplasma cannon in the mouth. And then down here, to round out the troops options, we're going to play these Traitor Guardsmen as a troop choice for just a Chaos Army instead of playing Cultists, just because it's cool. And painted them up, and we haven't had a chance to use them, so they're going to act as troops for this detachment. Don't do that at a tournament, it's not legal, but who cares. We've got a Lord with the plasma pistol and power sword, and then here are the Havocs. So the Havocs and the Obliterators are going to get the benefit of that devastation battery. So there's deadly things that they can do on the first turn. They can fire after the opponent has moved, so they can trigger to shoot before the game's even begun for them. So we might see that in play. And then we've got a unit of 6 Raptors with a plasma gun, power sword for the Raptor champion. And so everything's got the mark of Slanesh, which means everything's got the option to fire in twice, all the infantry. So deadly, deadly stuff. And as the Dark Angel player, I am quite terrified of that. So for Warlord traits, he's had a flick in the Vigilus book in the Black Legion department for what he's going to have. So he's picked the Sightless Helm. His ballistic skills worsened, but he's only got a pistol anyway. But his staff becomes extra AP. So it's going to work out against Terminators pretty well, because the staff's now AP -2. And for the Warlord trait, he's picked Indomitable. So all damage by the Warlord is halved, which is pretty good when you're a marked man. And he's going to have to weather possibly a lot of power fists if the Dark Angels have anything to do with it. So he's extra tough, so he's going to half damage incoming damage on him, and his staff's at AP -1. An extra AP -1. So the Chaos Forces deployed like this.
Right, so we've got Osandus up here, and he's got his bodyguard of Dark Angels Fallen. along with some extra bodyguards provided by Aban. And covering him we have the Havocs poised ready with the last cannons. Over on the right we've got people readied to take up positions in the Rhino, the Obliterators, some Marines down here ready to go up onto the platform, some of the big guns down here with the Warpsmith ready to help them out there, and the Jim Packers down here ready to move in and save his ass if he needs it. I've got 2 Dreadnoughts over here trying to break up any attack from over there.
So like we said, his name is Osandos. He's a fallen librarian of the Dark Angels. He's fallen for quite some time, that's why he's ended up looking like that. And the Dark Angels set up second, so set up on this corner most of the force. So in the Land Raider we've got all of the characters and a 5-man Terminator squad with the Stormbolters and missile launcher, and then we've got most of the Ravenwing. So we've got the Landspeeder, bike squad underneath this flyer, the Dreadnought, and all the command structure is in the Land Raider ready to move out. So down that channel to take on what we'd think is the weak side of the Chaos wing. So we don't really want to go down this side, but we have got a token 3 bikes here ready to move out and just do what they can. And this is what we've got in Deep Strike for the Dark Angels. We've got the Knights, the Lightning Claw based squad, and then the more power fisty shooty style squad, and with the Apothecary as well. He's going to all come in from the Teleportorum. Just launched straight into the first turn. The Dark Angels are guaranteed that there is no steal the initiative, so out we go to take on the forces. So the Landspeeder stays still because it's got a heavy weapon, so we need to fire that. But Belial gets out the Land Raider, and the Land Raider goes past him. The Dreadnought stepped up as well. Going to get re-rolls of 1 for him being a captain. The Flyers moved up here. We're going to try and get some choice shots down on whatever needs shooting. The Ravenwing bikes down here, they move flat out, and then the Ravenwing bikes all the way in the distance over there didn't move because it's not the right time. We're going to start the shooting phase. We're going to have the Landspeeder Vengeance fire first. It's going to fire at the nearest Hellbrute. We won't overcharge even though we're within 1 inch of Belial, basically because if you overcharge with this and you roll a 1, it suffers 3 mortal wounds and you can't use the plasma anymore. It's just really not worth it. So anyway, we're going to fire it. It's a heavy weapon. We haven't moved, so it gets D6 shots and we'll only get 1. And then it hits on a 3, which we get the hit. And then it's strength 7 against toughness 7 against a Dreadnought, so we're needing 4. We get it. You need to save on a 6, and this is 2 damage. Fills. Right, so 2 wounds on the Dreadnought. Okay, we've got a heavy bolter on board. It's going to fire at the same target. We got all 3 hits, and then we're needing 5s to wound the Hellbrute. We get 2, and then it's AP -1, so you're saving on 4s. Okay, 1 wound. Okay, we've taken another wound off the Hellbrute with Belial shooting down at him. He actually got the wound. Right, so the Dreadnought, the Land Raider, is within 12 of both Dreadnoughts. So we're going to chop up our fire like this. We're going to have the multi-melter at this forward Hellbrute, and then all of the guns at the rear Hellbrute. So the multi-melter needs a 3. He does get a hit on a 6, and needs a 3 to wound. We get the wound. There's no save, it's AP -4, so we are within 12, so it's double dice. Pick the best. Oh, we'll have the 6, thank you very much. So he's destroyed. Does he explode on a 6? Does not. Just goes down in a clump of demonic metal. Right, so the assault cannon at this one needs 3s to hit. Rerolls 1s because of Belial, but not to be. Needing 5s to wound. We get a good amount of wounds. That's 5 wounds on the Dreadnought. AP -1. Needs 4s to save. And takes 2 wounds. Okay, here come the Hurricane Bolters in rapid fire range. Reroll 1s. Just 2 to reroll. Okay, let's take out the misses. Pretty good. Right, now the hard part, needing 5s. Against this Dread. It's actually Hellbrute, not a Dread. We get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds. 7 saves of 3. And 2 slip through. 4 wounds remaining on this Hellbrute. So we're going to have the Dreadnought, the Venerable Dreadnought, fire at the Hellbrute. And we reroll 1s. We're hitting on 3s because he's ballistic skill 2, but he has moved with the heavy weapon. So we've hit them all, and then we're needing 5s. We get 2, so 2 to save on 4s. Another one. Alright, the Nephilim Jet Fighter is going to fire all guns down at the Hellbrute, except the heavy bolters are going to go down at the softer squad. So the 2 black sword missiles, 2 hits, because it is a heavy weapon, but it's got strafe and run, so it hits on 3s. So we get those both. It's strength 7, needing 4s. We get 1 wound, it's AP minus 3 and damage 2, so you need a 6 to save. Doesn't do it, he's on his final wound. We're asking the las cannons to finish him off here. Las cannons get a double hit, we're needing 3s. We get both 6s to save. If one of these get through, which ultimately will, yes, does he explode? He does explode. It's just 1 mortal wound for the cultists. Okay, so there's no first blood in this game, of course, so we've attacked the weaker flank with pretty much our entire army, and we're reaping the benefits here. Taking out 2 Hellbrutes is a big deal. Right, we've got the heavy bolters now, as promised, down at these. So we're hitting on 3s because the heavy weapons, and then we're needing 3s to wound. We only get 1, so it's AP minus 1, but these have better armour than cultists, so needing a 6. No, we've lost another traitor guardsman. Right, so that's all the firing from the Deathwing. It's a leadership test on these. The leadership 7, and they lost 2. So 6, 7, 8. We're going to lose an extra 1, and there he goes. So it's gone well so far, taking out 2 Hellbrutes with that initial attack, a hard attack on the left flank of the Fallen and Black Legion lines. Okay, Chaos turn 1. Bit of shuffling on the gantries here. They've gone all the way across there, the Fallen and this unit here. The Rhino's pulled up just there because behind it the Obliterators have advanced that position. They're out of range to anything that they could shoot at, so they're just taking cover behind that Rhino. Over here the cultists have shipped themselves out that way, and then these have just started to move up onto the gantries here. So we'll move straight onto the Psychic Phase, and the Osandus, the Librarian turned Sorcerer, he's played some Psychic powers already. So he's done Prescience on the Havoc squad, and he's also done Delightful Agonies, so they've now got a fail no pain of 5 and a +1 to hit. Okay, I know people have probably already realised and probably already typing away on the keyboard to comment, but we've totally forgotten all the excitement about that Devastation battery, and that's the only reason why they took that special detachment out of Vigilus. So because I pretty much told him about it just before the game, he instantly forgot. So what we're going to do is we're just going to reimburse the command point, because we can't really turn the clock back on that. Reimburse the command point for that special detachment, so it's as if they didn't have it anyway. So stop typing on the keyboard, we already realised. Right, he's now going to shoot at the Flyer. The 2 Demon Forge engines, they had to move to get closer to the action, because I could just zone them out here. So the front one, he is actually playing Blasphemous Machines for 1 command point. It means it doesn't count as moving. So he's going to fire up at the Flyer. He needs 5s to hit. It's 8 shots, and it's pretty good. He's got 4 hits, and needs only 3s to wound. And he gets 3, so this is AP minus 1, so we're saving on 4s. We fail 1, that's 2 damage. These have 10 wounds, so he's got 8 wounds left. Right, we had this squad next. They fired the Flamer up, and the las guns did 1 wound with the Flamer, so we need to save on 3. We do. Right, more shots on the Flyer now. We're going to have the Fallen with the combi plasmas. They're going to fire plasma shots up at the Flyer, not overcharge of course, because they don't want to kill themselves. And hitting on 4s, we only get 1 hit, needing a 3 to wound, because it's toughness 6 as Flyer. Does wound, we need a 6 to save, and we don't do it, so that's another wound. 7 wounds left. Right, we've got a plasma gun now from this squad up at the Flyer, needs a 4. He gets it on a 6. Doesn't wound. Okay, now we're going to have the auto cannon just there. He's going to fire up into the sky, and then we'll probably have that next, the back Forge Fiend. So the auto cannon hits on 4s because he stayed still, gets 1, needs a 3, doesn't do it. Right, now we've got 8 shots from the back Forge Fiend that did move. He's firing in the sky, so 6 is needed. And look at that, he gets 3. 3's to wound. 2, right. 2 damage. This could be deadly. We need to save on 4s. Fail 1. We've got 5 wounds left on the flyer. Right, we're going to move on to the Havocs now. So he's going to play Veterans of the Long War for a command point, and they're now +1 to wound. So he's going to fire 2 las cannons, 2 of the back ones, up at the flyer, and he's going to fire 2 at that venerable dreadnought. So the it is worth mentioning, if you haven't seen our battle reports before, we do play the cities of death rules when we're playing with a lot of terrain like this. So if vehicles are 50% obscured, or units are 50% obscured, it's a -1 to hit, hard cover and soft cover rules. So you'll find those rules in your chapter approved if you don't, if you're not aware of them. So they're in there. So you've got 2 las cannons up at the flyer with prescience, needing 3s to hit. Gets them both. Wounds on 2s with Veterans of the Long War in play. Only gets 1. You're going to command point reroll, or you're just happy to let that go? Because it's usually good to save your command points for damage.
Your command point.
Okay, he's been tempted in and he's rolled a 1. Well, that's what happens. Right, 6s to save. No, so it's the damage. If you get a 5, he's gone. No, he gets a 3. 2 wounds left on the flyer. He's in a bad state now, this flyer. Engines blazing with fire. And so the other 2 las cannons at the venerable dreadnought. Here we go. He gets 2 hits because he's got prescience and it's a ground target. And he gets 2 wounds because of Veterans of the Long War. So we need to save on 6s usually. But with the Cities of Death rule, if you've got the height advantage and you're firing down on something, it's an extra AP. So las cannons AP -4 on top there. So no save for the dreadnought, so it's 2d6 damage. It's a 4, but the venerable dreadnought have feel no pain of 6, which we deny none of them. So he's taking 4 wounds. Right, now he's going to use Endless Cacophony, everyone's favourite stratagem when you chaos, along with Veterans of the Long War. So we'll carry over into this volley. The las cannon's going to shoot again. Same thing again. He wants these targets dead. So the 2 at the flyer, he gets 1 hit, and 2s to wound because Veterans of the Long War does last for the turn, for the phase. Need a 6 to save. No, all you need is a 2 and it's gone because it's only got 2 wounds left. It's gone. Right, does it explode? I don't think there's anyone around anyway. No, it doesn't. So it crashes. So there we go, the flyer is down. Let's see if the dreadnought follows suit, because you've still got those 2 other las cannons to fire. Needs 2s, gets them. Prescience not needed so far, really. 2s to wound because of Veterans of the Long War. Again, no save because you AP -4 for being on the height advantage. So 2d6 damage, he's got 4 wounds left. 3 and a 3, so 6 to try and absorb here on these feel no pains of 6s. We don't get any. The dreadnought's gone. Does he explode? No. So he's gone as well. So that's the end of the chaos shooting phase. Going to go on to combat phases. So he's just going to try this. He's going to do this squad in on the Land Raider, because if he makes it through the Overwatch, he could hold it up. So we're going to Overwatch him and see what happens. That's what happened to the cultists. They just ran straight into the wood chipper of death. Storm bolters, the hurricane bolters just blazed them out straight away. Right, so turn 2 for the Deathwing, and we've moved like this. So this has come up to the top here. It's got a heavy weapon, so it'll be at a -1, but at least it'll be into the fight. The bikes again have turbo boosted all the way around here. Ravenwing, when the turbo boost, they get an invulnerable 4, so we'll feel that they need to just chance it and get into the fight as soon as possible. So Belial, he runs, well, the Land Raider moves, no sorry, the Librarian gets out first, he moves to there, the Land Raider moves around to here, and then Belial advanced right up behind it to get rerolls for both that and the Land Raider. So we've got the Librarian out ready to do some psychic powers, and the Fallen are the nearest unit, so we're going to bring them to the Lion's Justice, and then we have the Terminators arrive. Okay, so we've got some Terminators arrive, and we've only left 1 squad in Deep Strike still. So we've got the Deathwing Knights have come down here, 9 inches away from the Obliterators and the all of these on the gantries, and then we couldn't actually get the Deathwing Terminators of this squad onto the lower level, so we've had to go up to the top level That's the only place we could get, and then we've sent in the apothecary in the only spot that we could get one Terminator. So the Deathwing attack commences on the walkways, and then this unit of Ravenwing, they move to here. We're going to try and get some shots off at that unit because they've got one Marine just down there ready to shoot at. Okay, so we're at the end of the movement phase, so technically I brought this unit down last, and because we brought them down last, we're going to use the special stratagem for the mission, Retribution of the Inner Circle. So what we do, as soon as we came in from Deep Strike, we can move the unit d6 inches forward. So that's what we're going to do. It's 2 command points out of our 5, so we're spending 2 command points to do it. We've only got 3 left now. Then we'll roll a d6, and that's how far they go, and it makes the charge hopefully a little bit easier. We've rolled a 1, that ain't good. So I'll tell you what, we're going to command point re-roll that because we need to make that work. Need better than a 1. It's a 6. It's the Dark Angels logo. On we go. That's going to be a 3-inch charge now. It's looking very good. So there we are. The 6-inch move from the Deathwing Knights have got ever so near to the target here. So we've got an easy charge to make. Well, let's hope that stratagem makes it into the new codex because that is absolutely fantastic. Right, we're going to move on to the psychic phase. So we're going to have the Librarian. He's going to do a version on the Fallen. So this comes off on a 7. That isn't good enough. So we'll fail that one, and we're going to smite them now. So that comes off. So you can try and deny that, but you're going to need an 11. Doesn't do it. So it's going to be D3 mortal wounds on the Fallen. Okay, so that's 3 Fallen smited. Right, we're going to fire this newly arrived Deathwing unit up here down at this Fallen unit. We've got a boulder and we've got an assault cannon. So we're firing down, so we've got an extra AP on our guns, but these are in hard cover technically, so they've got a +2 to the cover save. So it's only really going to affect the assault cannon. So the assault cannon on the move, because it counts as that for coming in from Deep Strike, he would be hitting on 4s. And guess what? He's hit 4 times. And then needs 3s to wound. We've really hit these Fallen, but not enough because we've only wounded once. So he needs to save on a 3 because it's AP -2 because we've got the height advantage, and he does it. Then we've got the Storm Bolter, which hits thrice and no wounds. Right, we're going to have 4 Smiter from the Librarian at the Fallen. He's got 4 shots because he's a Terminator. We'll reroll 1s because of Belial. And we've hit 4 times. 4s to wound. Get 2 wounds. It's only AP -1, so you're still going to get your hard cover save on a 2. Saves them both. Right, Belial's going to have a go now. Same thing. Rerolls for himself. Wounds on 4s. Gets 2. Again, you're in hard cover. Save on 2s. Gets them both. Right, Land Speed of Vengeance at them. Going to need to kill these guys off. The heretic filth. 4 shots out of it. We're hitting on 4s because it's on the move with a heavy weapon. Reroll 1s because we are in range of Belial. Get 3 hits. It's strength 7, so we need 3s to wound. We get all 3, so it's AP -3, but you're in hard cover for +2, so you save on 4s, and he gets them all. Right, the heavy bolter from it now, just can't shift them. All miss, because it's heavy weapon on the move. Right, we're going to have the Land Raider fire now. It's going to have Storm Bolters up at the Fallen, and then the Multi-Melter and Assault Cannon at the Havocs. So the Havocs are obscured because they're 50% covered by this fence here. So we're going to be at a -1 to hit them. So let's do the Storm Bolters first. The Hurricane Bolters, even. Okay, so hitting on 3s, because these aren't obscured. And rerolling 1s, because Belial is behind the tank, wishing it on to do better. Right, that's pretty good so far. And 4s to wound. And then we're going to be saving on 2s in hard cover. So it's still pretty hard to dig them out, but we've got weight of fire to try and do that with. So that is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wounds. So save on 2s for 10 wounds. And that's a full pass. Now here's the assault cannons at the Havocs. Reroll 1s, but we're hitting on 4s, remember, because they're obscured. Right, so 3s and 2s are no good. And then these are toughness 5, but we are strength 6, so 3s required. And there's 5 wounds in hard cover, so you're saving on 2s again. Right, that's not good. 3 have taken a wound each, but you do have Delightful Agonies for Feel No Pains of 5. So you need 5s. Look at that, he saved 2, failed 1, so 1 Havoc gone. Okay, so just like in every Havoc squad around the world, the Sergeant is the first one to die, or the aspiring champion.
Sergeant Forky.
So we've got the multi-melter fire at them. It does hit on a 4, 2's to wound, 3's to wound. No, doesn't do it. Alright, so we just haven't been able to shift these Fallen, so it's up to the Apothecary to fire his Stormbolter at them. He's just behind the girder there. And he's hit them all, needs 4s, can he do it? He gets 1, saving on a 2 because you're in hard cover. And he gets it again. Can't shift them. Right, so over here now we're going to have the bikes fire in onto that unit. We can just see that that one Marine sticking out there. So we're going to give them a taste of the bolters, and there's a plasma gun. Right, so fire the bolters, 6 wounds put on them, saving on 3s. And 2 fail, so because one of them's sticking out in cover, there's no cover save there. So he's lost 2. Okay, plasma gun now. And he does get his hit. Does get his wound, right, so you are in cover because you can take your save on your cover now, so it's effectively only AP -1, and he does save the plasma gun. Okay, so it's on to the charge phase, so we're going to have the Deathwing Knights are going to charge into the Obliterators. We're going to try and obliterate them. So they do get Overwatch, they've got 6 shots each with variable guns, so the strength is going to be 6 plus D3, so it'll be 6 plus 1, so it's strength 7. And then the AP is only -1, but it doesn't matter because we've got storm shields anyway. And then the damage is the crucial one, is damage 2, so that is enough to kill Terminators. So here we've got 12 shots with that profile, and needing 6s to hit, and he gets 1 and only 1, so it needs a 3 to wound, but this could kill the Terminator if it was to go through that storm shield, because he gets his wound. And let's see if we can save on a 3. If not, it's a dead Terminator. We do, we get a 6, and inevitably in there go. So here's the charge range. It's a 12, 11 even. Right, so that's how the Terminators end up. And then with an 11-inch charge, turns out we didn't even need that that D6 stratagem that we played to get there. But anyway, we're going to fight now. So the Flail first. He's got 4 attacks with the new shot assault rules. And he's hit them all, and then needs 3s to wound, and he gets all but 1. So these are damage 2 each. Obliterators have 4 wounds, and it's AP -3, so he's saving on invulnerable 5s. He gets 2, fails 1, so it's 2 damage. One of them's halfway dead, and then we've got all of these maces of redemption. So these are damage 3. And we're hitting on 3s. That's a good roll for hitting. We're worried about our hits. And wounds on 3s. Come on, lads. Tear them down. That's pretty good as well. Right, so there's 5, 6, 7, 8 to save, but the AP -2, so he's saving on 4s. 3 damage. Oh, look at that. He saved incredibly well. So one of them's dead, and one of them's got 1 wound left. Right, so it's pretty disappointing result so far, and the Obliterator will now attack back. So he's got 4 attacks, he hits on 3s, so he gets 3, and then wins on 3s. Only gets 1, and it is AP -1, but so we're going to save on a Storm Shield, which we do. Right, that is the end of the fight phase, and no morale checks to take, because the Black Legion have got a good morale test, and so have the Fallen, so no one's actually required to even roll. Turn 2 for Chaos, and the Deathwing Terminator stepped into the Hornet's Nest. Now it's time to reap the whirlwind. We'll see what's moved. So basically the Deathwing Knights are surrounded, and the Chosen, they get out of the Rhino. The Rhino's moved on, and then the Obliterator moves after it. So the Obliterator can't fire because he just left combat, and so is the Rhino because we're piled into it. And so it's not going to be able to get a crucial charge off against the Land Raider, so we did stop that happening, luckily. This squad is going to move into the combat. The autocannon stayed still, so he's going to fire, so lots of shots coming in. The Chosen squad have got some anti-heavy infantry weapons as well in close combat. Then the Raptor squad jumps over, they've got a plasma gun, and they've got eyes to try and take down these. The Warpsmith, he's got a melter gun and a flamer as well, and close combat attacks, totally surrounded. And then at insult to injury here are the plasma pistol wielding Fallen. They're going to fire in and down onto the Deathwing Knights. The Havocs, they can move and shoot, so they've just reshuffled, trying to block any Terminators trying to get up there in the future. And the Fallen over here, they stay still, and they can reroll ones to hit, so they're going to shoot. There's still 2 left, just couldn't shift them, and now they've got the combi plasmas to try and fire. This unit on the gantry is still going to try and choke the way, because we don't want they want to throw bodies down the line there to protect the Fallen agent. So we moved into the static phase, and he tried to do prescience on the Havocs and failed. Rolled a double 1, re-rolled it for a command point and still failed. So he's now going to try and do smite down onto the Deathwing Terminators. So needs to get this off. Comes off on an 8. We do have the Librarian, our own, within 24, so we're going to try and block that one, need a 9. We don't do it. Now we're going to have to fall onto the Watcher in the dark. His little trick, there he is, the little man with the sword. His little trick is on a 3+, he just denies that power that's targeted that unit. He rolls a 6, right, so he's blocked smite. Right, so first shot's coming in on the Deathwing Terminators. Carvos, the Chaos Lord, he fires his plasma pistol, doesn't get his wound, and we're fired the bolters in and a crack grenade. So there's been 2 wounds with the bolters and a crack grenade is wounded, so he wants to do the crack grenade first, so we need to save this on invulnerable 3, which we save. That's dangerous because that was a D3 damage, and then the bolters were saving on 2s. 1 wound. Always happens. So more shots coming in. Right, this squad, almost the same deal. We've had a crack grenade and 2 bolters fire. We're still yet to fire the autocannon, but the bolters have got a wound, so he wants us to do that one first, which we save, and then the crack grenade again got a wound, so we need to save on a 3 because it's AP -1, which we get. Right, so it's the autocannon, so he's got 2 shots, he stayed still, hitting on 3s. Rerolls 1s because of the Chaos Lord present, so he gets 2 hits, needs 3s to wound, and you only get 1, there's a 5 in the distance, so this is damage 2, so we want to save this on our 3, which we do. Storm Shields to the rescue. And so coming up top now, what's his name? Osandus. He fires his pistol but misses, and then now it's time for 5 plasma pistols from the Fallen shooting down. They did move, so they're not rerolling 1s, so he doesn't dare he does overcharge, don't you? That's what he said. Are you overcharging?
No, I said no.
Alright, okay, so on we go. Strength 7. 2 wounds, right. It's probably best that he didn't overcharge because I've already got an outstanding wound. So we're saving on 3s, and there it is. So failed the armor save, so 1 Deathwing Knight is finally fallen, if you pardon the pun, and we'll take him. Right, we've got the Raptors underneath that are within 6 of the Chaos Lord, so he is going to overcharge his plasma gun. He's got 2 shots, only 1 hit, and he needs a 2 because it's strength 8. Right, he gets it. Right, so this is on the Storm Shield of 3. Mix it. Storm Shields are working today. Keep it up, lads. Right, the rest of the Raptor squad under there fire off the pistols and a grenade, but the grenade misses, but 2 pistols find the mark, so save on 2s, save efficiently on 2 2s. Right, this squad on the gantries of this Black Legion squad are going to fire down. To help them out, they're going to play Let the Galaxy Burn stratagem. If you're an Ultramarines player, it's like Sons of Guilliman, so you get full rerolls because they are a tactical unit. So he's got a plasma gun and a plasma pistol, and overcharging down at the Terminator, so you want to do the pistol for the Sergeant first, so he hits, and then the 2 shots from the plasma gunner. Fails to hit, but because of the Let the Galaxy Burn, he can reroll, so he gets 2 hits in the end from the plasma gun. So 2s to wound because toughness 8 from all of those shots There we go. That the Galaxy Burns worked out. And then we're saving on invulnerable 3s on the Storm Shields. Can we do it again? We can. All save. Hoorah. Right, the rest of the squad have thrown a grenade down, and 2 pistols have found a mark as well. So the grenade will need to save another 3, get it, and then the pistols on 2. Okay, we take another wound. Right, the Warpsmith now, he's going to fire into them. He's got a melter gun and a flamer, so he's doing his flamer first. And he only gets 1 shot, but needs a 4. Doesn't do it right. The melter gun hits on a 2. Gets it, needs a 2. Gets it again, right, so invulnerable 3. Save it on the shield. Well, that's what we'll get for carrying these larger than your normal storm shields. You can really get behind them, even though they're facing the wrong way. The quick on the draw, turn around, block that shot. Right, the Fallen on the gantries, they just turned around. They have stayed still, and they're going to fire down overcharged at the Deathwing Knight, so they can reroll 1. So is this the Sergeant firing?
Sergeant.
Right, he's missed with 1, but he didn't kill himself. But he has hit, needs a 2 to wound. Gets it, then the other guy gets a hit as well, so he needs a 2 to wound. Also, gets it, right. Invulnerable 3s, turn around with the shield, and we let 1 slip through, so we've already got an outstanding wound. So 1 more Deathwing Terminator goes down. Got 3 mighty heroes left. Okay, so 3 survive, but now it's time to get serious. The Forge Fiends, these are the Terminator and Primaris killers because they're 2 damage each. Perfect for this kind of job. So this one will be rerolling 1s because he's within 6 of the Lord, so he's going to give him full blast. Reroll 1s. Okay, that's pretty good. Needs 2s to wound because these are strength 8. Oh, it's bad. Misses 3. Gets 3 though. This could be the squad. It's AP -1, so it's on the invulnerable 3s anyway. And we save them all. Wow. Right, now it's time for the ectoplasma cannon.
D3 shots.
Okay, gets 1. Can reroll that because of the Lord. Hits in the end. Now you need a 3 to wound because it's strength 7. Doesn't do it, only gets a 1. Okay, the Battle Legion is sick of shooting at the Deathwing Terminators. They're going to just try and do it in combat because this Forge Fiend is going to shoot down at the bikes now. So he's got his Hades autocannon. And he's not within 6 of the Lord, so no reroll 1s, but he's got a lot of good hits there. So 3s to wound. And again, it's a poor roll.
Just 2.
Just
3.
3 because one of them was hiding. Right, so sit on 4s because it's AP -1. And 2 damage, we've lost 2 bikes. We've got the Sergeant remaining with his power sword in the backfield there. But he might be killed off this ectoplasma. So D3. Gets 2 and gets 1. Does he get 2? And a wound. Right, so need to save this on a 6. We don't, so it's D3 damage. Could he finish the Sergeant there? Yes, so that unit is wiped out in the distance. Right, and now for the main event, we've got the 4 surviving las cannons firing down at the tank. So here we go, no prescience, so 3s to hit. He gets 3, needs 3s to wound. Only gets 1, terrible. Right, because he's firing down, it's an AP 4 las cannon, so we need to save on a 6, which we do not. That would have been a save if he wasn't up high. So D6 damage, 4, right, so 4 wounds on the Land Raider. So no doubt he's got 2 command points left. Are you going to play Endless Cacophony?
Yeah.
He's going to fire off again, so this again then. 3 hits this time, needs 3s. Gets 2, we're needing 6s to save. Come on, Land Raider. Oh, double 1. So 2d6 damage. It's 9. Right, it's taking 13 wounds. He's got 3 wounds left, this Land Raider. It's in bad shape. Okay, we'll move straight into the charge phase, and you can see what's happened there. They've just swarmed all over the Deathwing Knights there. Everyone's in. And we're going to start the fight phase with the Lord Carvos, the Unclaimed. He's going to swing that power sword, see what he can kill. So he's got 4 attacks, he's got 5 on the charge. Gets a reroll 1s. And that's 3 Death of the False Emperor rolls as well. So extra attacks coming in for him. And only 1 goes astray, which he can reroll actually. Beg your pardon. Okay, like I said, goes astray. Right, that 2 hits because he's good weapon skill, and he's wounding on. In fact, no, yeah, go on, 4s. Right, only 3. So it's AP -3, so we're saving on invulnerable 3s again. Save them all. It's a good start. Right, the Warpsmith, we're going to have to check out his profile. I do not know how many attacks he's got. The Warpsmith is going to fight. He's got 4 attacks with Shock Assault, and he's hitting on 3s. And he rerolls 1s because of the Chaos Lord. And he gets 2 hits with a Power Axe, so he needs 3s to wound. Only gets 1, right, so saving on Storm Shield. No, right, taking a wound. So it begins. Right, now it's time for his Mecha Tendrils, so he's got 2 attacks with those. And he gets Death of the False Emperor, so he can try and get another hit, which he does. And then 4s to wound. Gets 1. It's a basic attack, but that's all he needs, so 2s to save, and there it is. So we've rolled our 1, we've lost a Deathwing Knight. Right, going to move on to the Chosen Squad now. The champion has a Power Fist, so he's got 4 attacks with Shock Assault, and he's hitting on 4s because it's -1 hit, but he does get to reroll that 1 because of the Lord. So he's got 2 hits in the end, 2s to wound with these. When he gets 1, so we need an invulnerable 3 save again, which we make. Right, we've got a Power Axe in the squad now, so he's got 3 attacks, and he rerolls 1s, and he's got Death of the False Emperor, so you can add in, yep, and then 5s to wound. And he gets 2, so again, 2, 3s to wound, sorry, it's strength 5 is what I meant to say. We've lost another, we didn't get our invulnerable save, so they're starting to go now. We've only got our Knight Master left, and he's still got lots of attacks. He's got a Lightning Claw guy to fight, and he's got 4 attacks because you get an extra attack for Lightning Claws. And he's hit them all, and he needs 4s to wound, and you can reroll them. Reroll because of Lightning Claws, and he gets 3. So the Chosen looking like they're going to do the biz here, so saving on invulnerable 3s, we make all of them. Right, so we've got 2 basic ones to fight now, and they've got in total 8 attacks between them. So needing 3s to hit, and that's a reroll of a 1. Right, you got 1 Death of the False Emperor in there as well, which you can get an extra attack for, which he does, and then 4s to wound. And he gets 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, this is on our Terminator armor again. Okay, we've got a wound on the Knight Master. There's just 1 Terminator left, and he's got 1 wound left, and now he has to put up with all of these Raptors. I'm going to try and chop him in the back. Right, so Raptor Champion, he's got a Power Sword. He's going to try and clout him. He's got 3 attacks. Gets Death of the False Emperor. And that's good, so he needs 4s to wound. Gets 1, but this could be the telling blow. Needs a 3. And we finally failed, so we've lost all the Deathwing Knights now. We don't need to roll for those Raptors. Okay, so there's the big hole where the Deathwing Knights were, and no one's piling in or consolidating because he doesn't want to end up nearer to the enemy. Okay, Dark Angel's movement phase in turn 3. This is in a bad way, so it's only moved 3. The Tech Marine healed at the end of the movement phase, only 1 though, so it's on 4 wounds remaining, still in bad nick. The 2 characters move up there, and then this spits out the Terminators, so they've moved all the way across to there. We're going to try and get on the gantries soon. And then this bike squad moves up to here. We're going to try and take out that Obliterator who's on his last wound, so we've got the means to do it. On top, the Apothecary moves over to here with an advance roll, and this Terminator squad moves down to the next level. And then that's all the units we've got, but then we've beamed in this unit here from teleport. So there they are. It's going to be deja vu all over again. We're going to play the same stratagem, Retribution of the Inner Circle, and we'll get to move D6 forward. So we've spent our last 2 command points to do that. So here we go, D6 forward, 4 inches, we'll take it. Okay, so then we move on to the psychic phase. The librarian, he does aversion on the last cannon, so they had a -1 to hit. It couldn't be denied because you didn't roll high enough. And then we played righteous repugnance on the freshly arrived squad here. So these are now reroll hit rolls and reroll wound rolls. But it's still the old style. I think I'll have to read the wording where if you roll a 3 with power fists, then it's a dead dice, so to speak. Just a shame. Hopefully that gets changed for the future, but it is what it is at the moment. Okay, we're going to start the shooting phase with the Terminator squad on the gantries. They're going to fire at that Raptor squad at the back. So here we go. He's going to fire his assault cannon down. Needs 4s because he's on the move. Get 3 hits. And we're needing 3s to wound. We get all 3, right? Because this is up high, firing down, it's AP -2, so you're saving on 5s for those Raptors. And 2 Raptors drop down, dead. There's 4 left. Right, now the Sergeant's Stormbolter, he's going to fire down. See if we can take out some more. Hits on 3s, gets 3, needs 4s. Gets 2, right? Because he's firing down, you're gonna need 4s to save. Gets them both, right? Came through that one. Right, we're going to have the Ravenwing bikes fire at that Obliterator who's on his last wound. So let's do the... tell you what, let's just do the melter gun first because we're doing everything. He's missed. Right, classic. Classic melter guns in action. So all of the bolters firing at him. Not bad. 5s. This is where it counts. Get 2 wounds and he's saving on 2s. Just need 1 to go through and he's a goner. That's it, he's gone. Okay, we've done Belial firing up at this squad on the gantries, doesn't do anything. Got his saves, and the plasma cutter from the Tet Marine fired up at the Havocs, didn't hit because they're obscured, and then the Flamer takes a wound off the Rhino. Right, we're going to fire the Land Raider now. It's not healed up enough to be on full tilt, so it's hitting on 5s. So we're going to do the Sponsons at this squad here, and then we're doing the other weapons at the Havocs, but the Havocs are obscured behind that, so we're going to be at a further -1. So we're hitting on 6s with the assault cannon, and I've just dropped my dice on the floor. Okay, take 2, I've got my dice back, right. Assault cannon, 6s. Real 1s because of Belial. So we get 2 hits, and 3s to wound, because there's strength 6. We get 1 wound, and you're saving on a 2, because you're in hard cover. It's hard work, this. Saves, right, then the multi-melter needs a 6. No. Right, Sponsons at these. Right, we fired off the Hurricane Bolters and we came away with 3 wounds, but they're saving on 2s because they're in hard cover. Yes, we killed 1. Glory. Glory to the Lion. Right, the Land Speed of Vengeance is going to have a go at them on that gantry there, so let's wish him luck. D6 shots. He's getting 6. Great. It's because we used a black dice that time, not a green one, because he's clad in black. Alright, so he's firing at these. 3s to hit. Okay, and then 3s to wound. Which we get 3, so it's AP -3, so +2 to your cover save. Effectively AP -1, so on 4s in the end. So 1 dies, 2 die. And then the Heavy Bolter Cupola thing, all hit. Needs 3s. We get them all, so this is only AP -1, so you're saving on 2s again because of hard cover. So there's 1 dead on a 1, you need 2 more dice because there was 3 wounds. Okay, 2 survive. So another 1 dies and there's 2 left. Both have got plasmas. Right, the Librarian with Force Smiter, we're going to fire at these. So we're at -1 because they are behind the gantries and he's far back, so he'll be obscured as well. We're hitting on 4s. And we can reroll 1s and 2s because we're next to Belial. Okay, and then needing 5s to wound because the toughness 5, we didn't get anything. So we're going to fire this Terminator squad and this Terminator squad in at all these units down here. So to speed things up, we're just going to do all this and then we'll do armor saves, see what happens. Right, so I've had from this squad, Stormbolters at this squad, 3 saves to make. So 2 die, pretty good. And then the Cyclone missile launcher fires at this. 1 hit, 1 wound, saving on a 5. Oh, I get it. Right, so this squad fires in, and we've had 2 Stormbolters at the Chosen, 2 Stormbolters through the gap at the Raptors, and the Cyclone missile launcher up at the Chosen. So there's 1 Cyclone missile launcher save to be made here, and it's a straight save because it's AP -2. So we've killed the Heretic Fallen. So there's 1 dead, up there. And then there's 3 wounds on the Chosen, so they need to save on 3s. So 1 Chosen dead, and then 3 wounds on the Raptors, and they all survive. Okay, it's time to charge for the Lion. So this squad's going to go in first. They need a 6 on the dice to get in on these, but not before they overwatch. So they need 2 at a time. Are you going to overcharge as a last stand?
Sure.
So is this the sergeant? Mm-hmm. He can reroll 1s because he's just like that. Because he's stood still. Right, he's killed himself and didn't get a hit. So he's actually elongated the charge. He sacrificed himself. And then the second guy needs 6s, doesn't get it. Right, so the charge is a little bit longer now that he's killed himself. That might have actually worked out for the best for him. Alright, so it's going to turn out that we're going to need a 7 on the dice to get there. Here we go. For the Lion, we've got a 9. We make it with room to spare. Right, so this Terminator squad, they're going to charge under there, onto the Lord and onto the Chosen. Just see them. So he's done his Overwatch and he hit with a crack grenade, which is bad news. So we need to save this on 3, which we do. Okay, right, so let's see what our charge is. Only need a short charge on these. A 7 will easily do it. Right, so they've got into that fray like so, and then this squad have charged these 2 Marines and the tech, the Warpsmith even. So the Warpsmith, he got 2 wounds with his Flamer, and these have got 1 wound with the autocannon. So we'll do the autocannon first because it's the one that's going to kill the Terminator. So I need to save on a 3. We save, and then the Flamer hits. We take a wound off a Flamer. Alright. So how far do we charge? A double 1. The answer is we don't charge at all. That's bad news. I'm still reeling off the double 1 there. Don't have any command points to re-roll. So the Saiga charged the tank, didn't take any damage in the Overwatch, and then Belial was to follow. So they've got long charges, got around the back of the tank. So at least we've got re-rolls because of Belial. But this squad had Righteous Repugnance on to re-roll hit and wounds in combat, and then that was just unforgivable. Unforgiven. Okay, so we're going to start with this fight first. So we've got 2 Thunderhammers are going to fight the Chaos Lord, and then 3 Power Fists at the rest of the Chosen. Right, so this is the fight on the Chaos Lord. We've got 4 attacks from the Sergeant with the Thunderhammer, with Shot Assault, and then 3 attacks with the other bloke with the Thunderhammer. So hitting on 4s against him. We're going to reroll 1s and 2s because Belial was gracious enough to come along with us. Alright, that's good. These need 2s to wound. Right. 5 wounds, 7 on 4s, and it's 3 damage each. Oh, he's only taken a single wound. He's only lost a single dice, so he's taken 3 wounds. And he's got, I think he's got 2 wounds left, or at least 1 wound left. Right, so the Lord's got 2 wounds left. It doesn't get any more frustrating than that. So, Power Fists then. So we've got 2 Power Fists fighting the Chosen. Needs 4s. Can reroll 1s and 2s. Right, 3 doesn't work because they haven't been updated yet. And 2s to do some significant damage. Alright, we've got 4 wounds. And he's saved on 6s against the Power Fist. Right, that's all of the Chosen dealt with. Alright, so we've piled in like this. We've locked the Lord in as best we can, and this Terminator has tagged this 2-man squad here. Right, we're going to move on to this combat up here. So it's just on one lonely guy. So we're going to try and hit him with our power sword. We've got 4 attacks to do it with. Reroll because Belial's underneath him. Nope, misses. And then 4s to wound. Get 3 wounds on this damn dirty fallen traitor. 6s to save, and we've cleaved him in twain, probably that way, right down the middle, and he just goes. So the Terminators move along the gantry and the pile in, and have now tagged these 2. Right, the 2 characters on the Rhino fight the Rhino. We just did it off camera because we thought it was just going to be a boring thing, and it was a boring thing. 2 wounds left. There you go. It's time for the Chaos fight back. The Rhino fought, didn't do anything, and then it's time for these 2. So Chain Axe has got 3 attacks because he's been charged, and he gets all hits. So it's strength 5, so you wound on 3s. And he gets 2. It's AP -1, so it's actually not too bad for killing Terminators. Yeah, so there's a wound. Right, 2 attacks from the plasma wielding chap, and he gets 2 hits, needs 4s again, and he gets both. 2s to save. Oh, we've lost a Terminator. Well done, lads. Got killed by just completely crappy unit. Right, in the underpass now, the Chaos Lord will fight back. There he is with his power sword. He's got 5 attacks because he's being charged, and he rerolls 1s. Okay, gets all hits, and then 4s to wound. Oh, they're just too good. Wound. Alright, we're saving. It's AP -3, so we'll be saving on. We're going to take it on one of the Power Fist guys and not the Thunderhammer people. Even though we could take it on a Storm Shield, but we're not going to. So AP -3, that's 5 to save. So do these 2 at a time. So the first Terminator saves 1, takes a wound. Then the second, he's dead. Then we're going to take this on another Power Fist, and he takes a wound. So we've lost a Terminator and one of them's wounded. Right, these 2 to fight now. 4 attacks. If they keep this up, they might kill all the Terminators. Right, reroll 1s. Okay. Oh, look at that. 4 wounds. This is just outrageous. 2s to save. Save them all. Thank you, Emperor. Okay, that is the end of the turn. All morale checks completed. And the Deathwing are pushing in now. They're in better positions, especially this squad up here. But we've taken a few needless casualties and failed that crucial charge. We could have been all over the Fallen. Right, Chaos, turn 3. So a bit of a reshuffle on top here. The Havocs go to this side, the Fallen go to this side. Going to try and fire down at these bikes. These still have a version plate on them, so at -1. And then it's a bit of a mess down here now. These with the fill charges and the Terminators dropping down like flies. He's going to go forward, fire his melter gun. He's a dangerous bloke. And then these are just going to punish those Terminators probably. These are still locked in combat, so they can't be shot. But these are going to come under some horrible firepower from some Raptors have gone up there with a plasma gun, and then we've got 3 deadly lasguns from over there. It's just all going to happen. So it's Psychic Phase first. He's going to do Smite, and he's going to do it onto the unit that's locked in combat. Let's see what he can do. It comes off on a 5, but we do have our Librarian underneath, and he is within 12, so we'll get a +1 with our Psychic Hood, and we'll block that. Stone Cold shut down. Right, he's going to do Prescience on the las cannons to try and combat the avertedness. So no, it needs a 7, only got a 6. So the darkness of the aura of the Dark Angels are starting to close around his mind and shut them down slowly. Right, we've got the Fallen up here. These treacherous filth going to fire down on the Raven Wing. They're not overcharging those plasma pistols. And so there's 4 hits. Needs 3s to wound and gets 2, so needs 6s to save on the bikes. We get 1, so 1 wound on a bike. Right, so in this combat they're going to shoot the pistol. So there's a plasma pistol and a bull pistol. Are you overcharging this plasma pistol? Or
Yeah.
you just, yes, he is. It's all or nothing. He does hit, needs a 2 because it's overcharged. He gets it. Right, we're going to have to save on a vulnerable 5. We're going to take it on a Lightning Claws man at the back. Saves. What a legend. Right, bull pistol in combat as well. Hits. Wounds. And we'll actually save on a 2, so that's not good because we take a wound. Right, so we've opened the shooting gallery on these Terminators here. So we started off with the leading the way, 3 lasguns, 1 hit, done, wound. Now we've got pistols up here. 3 shot in, 1 wound on the Terminators. We save right now. There's a supercharged plasma gun down at them, so he needs 3s to hit. He's got 2 shots because right of fire. He's hit once, off in the distance there. So and again, and he's killed himself. Okay, wounds on a 2, and that's gone off in the distance, and it's a 6. So he does get his wound in the end. So we're going to try and save this on the Storm Shield. Cyclone missile launcher, because the Cyclone missile launcher is just good because he saved. Alright, the Warpsmith now. So what's he going to do?
Flamer.
Okay, Flamer. 5 shots, not too shabby. And he gets 3 wounds. Needs 2s to save. Let's take these on just a Power Fist guy. Okay, Power Fist guy takes a wound. Right, melt out. I don't know what's going on with his dice roll.
Got a 1.
But that's a 1, that's a miss.
Yeah.
Actually, it is 1 Terminator dead off that Flamer, because I forgot that one took a wound earlier on, so lost the Terminator there. Right, moving on to the Forge Fiends now. So this one is going to fire his ectoplasma at the Terminators, not within range of the Lord to reroll 1s, but he's got 3 shots out of it, and he gets 1 hit, and he gets a wound. So we need to save on... let's do this on the Cyclone Missile Launcher, because he's got a Storm Shield, because we don't want to... Hopefully we can save that. That is a 3, and he saves. Something wrong over here. Dice keep on going that way. Must be playing on some sort of tilt. Alright, now we've got the Hades Gatling auto cannon things. 8 shots. Right. 4. 2's 2 wound. 2 and only 2. Alright, so because we haven't taken any wounds on any Terminators, we can change the who's going to save. So we're going to put this on another Power Fist guy. He needs to save. Saves. Saves again. Good lad. Right, but now we've got another one to fire. So
Ectoplasm.
It's going to get 2 shots. Gets 1 hit. Doesn't wound. And then again, 8 shots going to be rattled off into that bone white armour. Pretty good shooting. You can't miss them in white. So 5 hits, 2's to wound. Oh, look at that. All 5. Right, we're going to have to do this one at a time, because there's only 5. So, the Power Fist chap, he dies. We've got another Power Fist man. He saves. Same guy. Saves. Dies. And then, this is on Chain Fist. He saves. Right, I thought I made it out of the fire, but I forgot about these last cannons. So here we go. 4 last cannons. Hitting on 4s because of aversion. And 2 hits. 2's to wound. Get 2 wounds.
Storm Shields to the 4.
Yeah, we're going to have to take it on the Cyclone Storm Shield chap. Here he goes. Needs a 3. Saves. Needs it again. Oh, he's dead. No, he's not dead, because you need to roll for damage. If you roll a 1, he's going to survive. Oh, he's dead. Right, last thing to shoot, the Chaos Lord is going to shoot with these plasma pistols. He's not overcharging, he doesn't want to kill himself. He wants to give himself every chance to survive, and he hits. And he wounds us. Right, so we're going to save on a 5, because we're going to take it on this Terminator over here. Sounds weird, but that's what we're doing. And he saves anyway. Right, charge phase, the Warpsmith, he goes bundling into this combat to save his Chaos Lord. The Raptors try to charge in, but fail. It was an afterthought, that's why they've gone up top. But they failed their charge, so it's just the Warpsmith who's charged. So here comes the Warpsmith with 4 attacks from his Power Axe. And he rerolls 1s because the Chaos Lord is still alive, telling him to do what he can to bail him out. Gets 4 hits and needs 5s with the Power Axe. Needs 3s with the Power Axe because it's strength 5, right? 2 wounds. We're going to take this on this man here. So he saves on 4s. It says on 3s even, because it's only no, it would be 4s. But anyway, we're saved anyway. And then you've got 2 attacks with your Mecha Tendrils. 1 is the Death of the False Emperor, and he doesn't get that extra hit, and then he needs a 4 to wound, which he doesn't do. Right, so it's on to ongoing combats now. So who will start fighting first?
Okay.
Will it be the Chaos Lord?
Let's do the Chaos Lord.
I thought so. Right, so he's got 4 attacks now because he hasn't been charged or charged. And he gets the Death of the False Emperor, and he's hit them all so far. Okay, 5 hits, 4's to wound. Gets 3. Right, again we're going to take them on this lonely man here, so 5s. Saves 1, takes a wound. Fails, right, so he's dead. killed by a flying power sword that he throws on. Right, so the Deathwing get to choose their fight now, so we're going to choose this combat over here, of course. So the power sword has only got 3 attacks now, but he gets a reroll because Belial's underneath, within 6. When he gets 1 hit, needs a 4. Don't get it. Right, it's 2 lightning claws. Oh, first of all, we'll pile in. That was silly. There we go. So we've got everyone fighting now. Got 2 carried away. Right, lightning claws. We've got 2 chaps with 3 attacks each. Here we go. Come on, do better than the sergeant. Take his place. Right. 4's to wound. Reroll because the lightning claws. Right, so there's 6 wounds, 7 on 5s. There's only 2 left. Let's get it done. Right, they're dead. Stone cold dead. Right, Deathwing to fight under the bridge here. So we were charged, so the shot assault has been triggered. So we're going to have 3 attacks on the Warpsmith, 7 attacks on the Lord. We'll want to kill the Lord. So here we go. He's the Thunder Hammers on the Lord. Real 1s and 2s because of Belial. Right. 2s to wound. Right, there's... what's that? Oh, it's a 1. Right, 3 wounds. Needs to save on 4s. If he fails 1, he's dead. He has failed 1. The Lord has been smushed into the ground. Right there at the back we've got the Power Fist taking on the Warpsmith. So here we go. 3 attacks. Rerolls because of Belial. There we go. 2s to wound. We've got 3 wounds. Right, it's AP minus 3 and you've got 2 plus save, so you sit on 5s. Fails them all and it's D3 damage each. So he's got 4 wounds, this infernal being, and we've killed him. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, that is the end of the fight phase at turn 3 for Chaos. It's getting very close now. The Deathwing just coming down onto this fallen agent, but the game is slipping away. We're moving into turn 4 now. If he just decides to run, he's going to be hard to catch. Okay, so it's turn 4 for the Dark Angels. So I forgot to say at the end of that turn, the characters fought the Rhino and killed it, didn't blow up, and then the characters go on the business. So we've moved Belial down to here, and the Sorcerer is gone. He's not a Sorcerer, how dare we. He's a Librarian. He's going to do Smite up at these Fallen. We've fixed 3 wounds on the Land Raider. It's on 7 wounds left now, so it's back onto its 2nd tier, so it's going to be hitting on 4s. And we feel like we've got 1 turn to capture this guy, so we've sent the bikes around here to try and block his path. Going to leave here. We're going to try and wrap up this with the Terminators, or at least kill it. Belial might go in himself. We've got these 2 Terminators ready to just try and charge whatever they can, and then we've got this unit steaming down the gantries here, just trying to get the hands on this 1 man. And just before going to the psychic phase, the apothecary healed the outstanding wound on these, so back up to full health on one of those Terminators. And now it's a psychic phase, so we're going to do righteous repugnance rather. Reroll the hit and wound rolls for this squad, but still the surviving 2 Thunderhammers. This squad here. So this needs to come off on a 7. So that comes off. Doesn't want to try and deny that because he would need an 11. So it's time to smite this unit now. This is the one he can try and deny. Right, so that's an 8, so you're going to need a 9 to block that. Doesn't do it. So smite D3 on this squad here. It's 2, so 2 fallen, drop down, dead. So he didn't want to have to do it, but he's had to take the sergeant with the power fist and one of these falling from here because he needs to block the way for this Deathwing squad. He doesn't want them getting a charge in on the Havocs. Right, we're going to have Belial shoot first. We're going to try his Warlord trait. You can see him through that gap there, the Warlord, so you can pick him out, but he's only got a Stormbolt. Let's see if he can do it. He rerolls, and he gets 3 hits, 4s to wound. Get 2 wounds, so you need to save on 2s. Oh, it's gone away, so that's a mystery dice. Saves them both comfortably, as expected. Right, the Land Raider is going to shoot next, so it's hitting on 4s, but because these are now behind the barricade, it's going to be back on 5s. So we're going to fire everything we've got at these two, see if we can kill them. Right, multi-melter first. Hits, needs 2. Gets them, so it's it'll effectively be AP -2 because you're in hard cover, so you're saving on a 5. Okay, that's 1 gone, 1 left to go. Right, so the assault cannon is going to fire up at the last fallen, hitting on 5s. Wow, that's looking good. What is that? It's a 2. Right, 3s to wound on these. You'll still be saving on 2s because he's in hard cover. And that's all of them, so that's 6 to save on 2s. Right, he's rolled that 1, he's gone. The path is clear. Right, over here we're going to try something dead sneaky. So we've made sure this bike, the one with the melter gun, is closer to the Warlord than this, but these two unfortunately can't be. So these two are going to fire through that gap at that unit of 2 Marines, and this is going to fire all of its shots at the Warlord. So let's do the bolters on the Marines, and we've got 5 hits, 4s to wound, which we get 4, so you're needing 3s to save. So 1 dies. And then let's tune up the band for the Warlord. Right, so here we go, we've got 4 shots of bolters on the Warlord. We get 3, needing 4s. Oh, only got 1, which you're going to save on a 2. Saved. And then we've got the melter gun, this is the big one. Come on now. He hits, the melter gun is hit. 2s to wound. Wounds, right, you're going to need to save on a 5 because it's you're in hard cover. Tense stuff here. It's a 2, he's failed it, and we are within 6, so it's double dice, pick the best, but we're going to have to half it because that's his Warlord trait. So he takes a single wound because that is the best would churn out is, no, it's D6, isn't it? So 4, it is 2 wounds. 2 wounds on the Warlord. Right, so that is pretty huge. He's only got 2 wounds left now. It's looking good, the way is clear. If we can just get a big charge, we might be able to finish him in just 1 round of combat here, and wouldn't that be great? Right, we just finished up the shooting phase with less meaningful shots. So we had a Stormbolter, killed the autocannon guy, we had this Stormbolter fire at these, didn't do anything, and then we had the Librarian, he actually fired his gun, his relic gun, I can't remember what you call it, Force Smiter, at this for 2 damage, put 2 wounds on it, and then the assault cannon fired down, did a wound on it, so it's taking 3 wounds, and then this fired in at the raptors over there trying to clean them out but didn't get anything. Right, so it's on to charges now, so this unit of Terminators are going to charge in on this Forge Fiend. So you need 6s on your Overwatch. He gets 1, now you need 2 to wound. Gets it. Alright, so we're going to need we're going to just take this on the basic guy. We don't want to lose our Thunderhammers. Right, he is dead. Okay, and then you've got your Ectoplasma Cannon for D3. It's just 1 shot and you need a 6. Doesn't hit. Right, so we've lost the Terminator, the nearest Terminator. It's going to be a longer charge, so let's see what we roll. In 11, we're easily in there, so in there go. Right, this unit's going to charge in on the same target. No, they're not. It's a second double one they've rolled. Belial's going to try and get in on this as well. He rolls an 8, so in he goes. Right, might as well try and get the Librarian in. He needs 10 on the dice to get in. Big chart. Oh, he's got it. In he goes. Okay, so I hope we haven't spent our big dice on charges because we need to charge with this unit now. It's just a short charge to get the Havocs, but we want to get deeper in to get the Warlord. He's got 2 wounds left, we can do this. So he's only going to be able to overwatch with 2 las cannons, because you can see 2 of them can fire at the back Terminator, but the lead Terminator, he can't be seen because there's a console in the way. So what you need is 2 dice, and it's Overwatch time. See if you can take out some Terminators on Overwatch. Last stand business. He's missed. Right, so what is our charge range? We're targeting both this unit and the Warlord. It's an 8. Let's measure this up. Right, so we've got right where we want to be. The 8-inch charge took us there, didn't even need the pile in. So we've got the Sergeant and these 2 because they're within an inch of the guy fighting him. So we're just going to put a flurry of attacks on him, try and take him down. And then he's not going to be able to fight with these chain fists. I think he's got power fist actually. He's going to have to fight against the Havocs. But it's worked out nicely that Belial's in there, because he's going to give them re-rolls. And this fight, we should be able to take this out. It's already taken 3 wounds, it's got 9 left. We've got Thunderhammers to do the business. Okay, we're going to just get right into it here. We're going to fight with these first. Pretty nervous about this, because it could all just go wrong. So we've got the Sergeant fighting first. He's got 4 attacks because he's on the charge. 3s to hit. He's got them all. It's a good start. Needing 4s. Come on. He's got 2. This could be it. Right, so you need to save on 6s. Oh, he's got double 6. Right, Lightning Claws. Come on. Right, 8 attacks for the Lightning Claws. Here we go. Right, reroll because Belial's underneath. Right. 4s. And we can reroll because of the Lightning Claw ability. This is... oh no. Right, we've got 5 wounds. You need to save on 5s because these are only AP minus 2. He just needs to fill 2 of these. He filled them, so that's 1, 2, 3 filled. He's dropped down dead. It damaged 1 weapon, so his Warlord trait didn't help him, and he's dropped those scrolls. And now we will learn where the fallen are as long as we don't die. So there they are, the bloody scrolls. We've wrenched them out of his dead hand, and now this Sergeant is in possession of this objective. So if he survives, he can pass it on if he dies, but we need to hold on to this. So he's now the guy with the relic. It's going well so far. Let's see if we can kill a few Havocs with this guy with a power fist. So he's got 3 attacks. And he rerolls 1s and 2s because Belial's underneath. 3's to him because he's toughness 5, and he's filled. Right. So we'll pile in a bit deeper then and continue the fight with these. Right, we're going to move on to this combat now. So we've got 7 attacks from Thunderhammers at this Forge Fiend. So it's quite a lot of attacks with Thunderhammers, and we're going to reroll all failed hit and wound rolls because of Righteous Repugnance that were played on ourselves. So it's reroll 1s and 2s to hit, and 3s are dead dice because they haven't been updated yet. So 3s, but we can reroll because that's like power. Just 3 in the end. He's got 9 wounds left. He'll have to fail all of his invulnerable 5 saves for this to happen, and he's failed 2. So 6 damage. He's got 3 wounds left. Right, Belial's going to have a go now. He's got the Sword of Secrets, and he's got 5 attacks on the charge, and he hits them all. He needs 5s to wound. It's a damage 2 weapon. He's got 5. He's got 3 5s, and it's AP minus 3, so you need invulnerable 5s again. So he's filled 1, 2. That's 4 damage. The thing's gone. Does it blow up? That would be a nightmare for... Yes, it does blow up. Nasty stuff. Let's do the fallout wounds and see what happens. Alright, so I've just checked the profile just to be on the safe side, and it is D3 mortal wounds for all involved. So it's D3 for this Mauler Fiend here, and he's going to take, what's that, 3, and it's D3 mortal wounds for Belial, and he takes 2. The Librarian, he takes 1. The Terminator unit take 3, so we've lost a Terminator, so we're going to keep the Sergeant alive, and he's taking a wound. And then these bikes you can kill, they've taken 2, so we've lost a bike and a half because he's already got a wound, so we'll take him and him, so we've still got the Sergeant left. This is not going well. And then up top you've got the Terminators. This is a disaster. Just a wound, right, we'll put that on the on him. And then lastly, you've actually got mortal wounds on your Havoc, so you could actually kill your own people here in a bad way. It's 3. Right, that is big. 3 Havocs are destroyed. Alright, so the game's going to finish with a big bang like that because the Chaos Forces just can't see themselves coming back from this one. We've wrestled away the information, we've got the fallen agent's head, and we're not going to let go because this guy fought back, didn't do anything. So he's doomed in that combat. Even if he drops back, he's going to fall silent. These Raptors have lost the plasma guns, so they've got no teeth really to take on the Terminators. Your Land Raider's slowly getting better with the Tech Marine, so he'll be able to come back into the fight. And really, it's just this Forge Fiend and this unit of Traitor Guard up here. They're going to have to weather pretty much all of the surviving Deathwing stuff. But it's not that they need to weather it, they need to actually come and get this objective. And since I'm in hard cover, I'm in a good position there, there's just no way they're going to be able to come and get it. So it's a concession from the Chaos. We've claimed what we came to get. We've destroyed Voidclaw. We're going to report back to Lord Commander Calgar and give him just one word message saying mission complete.